Welcome back to Creative Process with myself, Jared Klein. Today, obviously, you can see that we do not have any guest on. Things kind of fell through a little bit, and I actually am going to be updating you guys on some things. If you don't follow me on Twitter, which you probably do follow me on Twitter if you are listening to this. If you don't, go down below. All of my links are down below. I think they're in a link tree as I drop my pen. 1 second. Let me get my pen quick. But yeah, so if you do follow me on Twitter, you saw this. I posted this yesterday, I believe. So at the time of recording, it is Tuesday, August 2nd. That's the first time I've said the month of August. But yeah, so if you did see this, then awesome. You're getting a little, I don't know. I guess maybe a reminder, you want to call it, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, so basically, over the weekend, it was an amazing time in my life and in my fiance's life. Now, my wife's life, we actually got married. So that's why I was a little inactive on posting and everything, and on inactive on Twitter and everything, but obviously that's justifiable. I could care less if I was active on Twitter over last weekend. But yeah, so we had that going on, and so because of that, there has been a little bit of a lapse of judgment when scheduling podcast episodes. A lack of, I guess, maybe preparation. I guess I could say preparation's probably the best way to put it. But yeah, so today I'm going to be talking about something very, very, I guess, I can relate to it. I can relate to it really easily. It's something that I've dealt with, especially when getting out of college, that I took for granted in a sense. Not saying my current position I'm taking for granted, but this whole process of things I've taken for granted. So basically what I'm going to be talking about is being responsible with your job search. Everyone's been there when they're looking for a new job, or I guess not everyone, but if you are looking for a new job, it's mainly the main thing I wanted to be talking about is you taking every single detail of the job requirements and of where the job is, of what you're looking for into consideration. Doing that could find you in a position where you are amped up to go, you're ready to be hired, and you are ready to start this new job and this new experience, start this new experience all over, and boom, you're thrown into something you didn't think you signed up for. But then upon looking at the job description that you applied for, it is there. It is completely there, and you made a mistake. So I just want to talk about, my experience with those types of things, and, just kind of getting there. Thankfully, I haven't been in a position where I'm like, oh, okay, I guess this is what I signed up for. So thankfully, I haven't been in that position, but I do have many friends that have or are that have been in that position or currently are in that position, and they, one, don't know how to get out of it, and two, they feel horrible. They don't feel, they obviously feel 100% responsible for the situation, and they just feel horrible because they did it to themselves. They thought they had all their ducks in a row and everything, but because of that, now they're in this position where they're uncomfortable. They're not sure how to address it. They feel bad because they put themselves into the situation, and it's just not a good situation overall. So the main thing, especially when, like, if you're in sports, obviously this is niche. This is a niche type of topic from my experience, right? If you're in sports, I'm gonna go from that type of realm of the industry, and esports as well. But mainly in my experience in esports, it has either been freelance or remote. So my duties have been very, to a T. Like, there's no secrets. There's nothing, really to even have a chance to look over when I've been working remote. So when it comes to esports, working remote is actually something, that I've been lucky to experience, and I've been lucky to not have a problem with. So that's fantastic. So, but working in sports, the main thing, I pulled up a job example here that I'm just going to be looking at. For example, this job that I have pulled up is from teamworkonline.com, and it's a graphic designer position for Soccer Holdings LLC in Louisville, Kentucky. Basically, the ownership group, or I guess the ownership group or whatever you want to call it, that runs Louisville City FC, Racing Louisville FC, and their youth academy. So basically the male and female, I think male and female teams within Louisville. I think Racing Louisville is a female team, if I'm not mistaken, or a women's team. So the main thing that some people, especially while looking over this job, is the main thing is other duties as assigned. That is a huge thing, especially within what I work in now, minor league baseball, is other duties as assigned is basically what it means. Like, yeah, at a whole, I'm a graphic designer, but I also do photography, I also do marketing, I also do social media, and I also help with tarp pull. I help clean up the stands. I help do garbage. Let's see what else. Help where is needed. I help flip the room. I help flip our banquet hall. All those types of things. Like it's teamwork types of things, but mostly, they're like no duh type of things. You're working with a small team. You're like, no duh, I have to go do this. This is, the banquet team or the stadium operations team. There's only 5 people, so obviously they're going to need more help with garbage. But in other situations, when you're not working in minor league baseball, where your stadium ops has 20 people, your banquet team has 20 people, your graphic design and marketing and social media have 5-10 people each, it's like, then you don't really need to go outside of your duties as much as you would with a smaller team. So first off, no duh. That type of situation comes with how many employees are within the team or are within, your organization that you're applying for. And, that type of stuff is like a no duh situation. And then if you do, get in that situation where, wait, I'm a graphic designer, I don't need to do tarp pull. Then it comes into, okay, well, one, you didn't know what you were signing up for, so you didn't really care about working for us that much because you didn't even read the description that well. 2, okay, well, now we don't want to work with you because you're not a team player. And then 3, more in-office conflict, and then probably if you keep acting that way, you'll eventually get laid off or fired or whatever you want to call it. So, paying attention to those key things within job descriptions, other duties as assigned, is humongous. But obviously, the ones that correlate directly with what you will be doing. Develops and reviews creative assets following brand standards, including tone of voice, style, color, and quality across all channels, and foster a collaborative creative development process. Like you also have to hit on those certain requirements that directly correlate with what you are applying for, what your field is, and everything like that. If you can't do that, like if you're not in a position where you have done that before, and you have no experience doing that, one, don't shy away from applying. Always apply. I'm never going to tell you not to apply. Always apply. Throw your portfolio, throw your links, throw your anything out there, because who knows what opportunity you're going to get there. But have some self-reflection. Be like, okay, I have never done that before. Maybe I should do some self-directed work or push for freelance work that connects into those areas of expertise that I want to make sure I can hit, so I can apply for jobs that I want to get, and everything like that. So that's kind of what I'm going to get into next here, as well, kind of segue into this. But obviously, number 1, read everything in detail. Know what you're applying for. If you don't know what you're applying for, why are you applying? That's the type of situation. Like if you haven't read all the way through primary responsibilities, what they're looking for, the job questions, extra details about, the entity you're applying for, you shouldn't be applying. If you're just throwing things out there willy-nilly, and you don't even know what you're applying for, and then who knows, let's say you do get an interview back, and then you have to wing it, and then you have to do all your research there, and it's, stress and everything like that, and the chances of you getting that opportunity and being chosen for that opportunity get lower and lower and lower the more unprepared you are. So, moving forward, be able to use the primary responsibilities. In this case, they're labeled as primary responsibilities, but your job description as details to potentially build your, knowledge of the field and knowledge of the positions you are applying for and knowledge of how to kind of, create a situation for yourself and where you can go in comfortably, knowing that you qualify for these positions that you want to apply for. So that's what I was doing right out of college. I was looking into the responsibilities that were on some of these job descriptions, and I was like, okay, I have never heard of that before. I don't know how to do that. I haven't, experienced some of these things before. And I was like, okay, so the only way that I can make sure I am qualified and make sure that I will be viewed as a best fit for these people or for a job that I want is if I have that experience under my belt. So using those details and using some of those things in the job descriptions and everything like that helped me be able to form my learning process and my education towards my profession. I was able, hit the mic. My bad, didn't mean to hit the mic. It made me be able to have, self-awareness and be able to push myself into those different experiences to make sure I was able to be qualified for the positions that I wanted in the future. And I guess you can say, in a sense, that's how I got my job now. Obviously, if you want to work in freelance, it's a whole different bag of worms. If you want to work in freelance, you have to have experience organizing your own stuff, being able to work with clients, or having experience working with clients, having experience, setting up and keeping track of your expenses, your project costs, your rates, everything like that. Being able to work in a sense like that, you have to have experience doing that type of stuff. So all in all, it's basically just using details and using certain things in a way to either gain experience or know that you have experience in those certain situations. And then also, formulating your resume and formulating your cover letter towards said job or said position or said, whatever you're applying for. Being able to have that connect directly to what you are applying for. That's a big thing. That's a really big thing that I know classmates of mine have had trouble with, and I've had trouble with. I really have had trouble with that. Sometimes, when I was earlier doing it, I was just throwing things, okay, I read through everything. Okay, I know I'm qualified in certain areas. Let me just throw my resume, throw a generic cover letter at it. When in reality, I should have been curating things, putting positions that I've had in my past on my resume that I'm submitting that connect directly to the job that I'm applying for. But yeah, so this was a short one, only about 14-ish minutes, so should be a nice, easy, formal, type of episode for you to kind of take in. So I appreciate you guys coming out and listening to episode 10 of The Creative Process. Next week we'll have a guest on. I know that for a fact. So next week we'll have a guest on, another awesome conversation with someone you may or may not have met before, and also with me, maybe someone I may or may not have met before. So again, thank you for coming out and listening today to episode 10, and as always, make sure you tell someone that you love them. All right, we will see you in episode 11. Take it easy. Peace.